Do you like small men with hairy feet?
Well, we know just the movie for you.
Let's talk about that.
Hi, I'm Shannon. And I'm Abby. And we're from Minnesota. Good Mythical Morning.
Good Mythical Morning.
Today's episode is brought to you by Smule, maker of musical apps like the Sing Karaoke app.
The app that you can sing our song Squirrel Rights, and as well as some of our other songs. It is our time to present to you the winner of the karaoke contest for the Squirrel Rights song. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, congratulations to Ryder Manapot, aka Bat Snacks. You are the winner. You win an official Good Mythical Morning t-shirt available at RhettandLink.com/store.
And if you didn't already know, this is the last week of Good Mythical Morning Season 2, and what we need from you is to comment on today's video with your favorite moment of Good Mythical Morning Season 2. Just put the name of the episode and the time code, and we're going to put together a little compilation for our final.
Comment below, moment of Season 2 and time code. You will be credited in the montage on Friday. Thank you. The Hobbit's coming up.
Well, The Hobbit
It's
actually,
the movie.
It came out in New Zealand yesterday, but we here in the United States of America have to wait until the 14th of December to go see it. Now, first of all, Link, do you have plans? Have you written it down in your calendar? Have you put a little footnote? Are you going to see
December 14th. Absolutely, I'm going to see it.
it? On December 14th?
Probably not. I'm taking my whole family, so we all need to sit together.
Extended family?
I don't know, just like
Those kids that nobody knows about? You're taking those
no,
two?
just the kids that my wife is aware
You're
of.
taking the legitimate children and the legitimate wife.
Yes.
Just family number one. You're taking family
as
number
soon
one.
as we can, Rhett. I'm going to take them, and yes, we are excited about it. But I thought it would be good now. We still have like 2 weeks to prepare. It'd be good for us to discuss it, make sure we're all on the same page. We know all the things we need to know. Review some things that you should know.
What do you need to know?
And have the. Well, you need to know that it's a prequel to Lord of the Rings. I hope you knew that.
I knew that.
But some of the people who are going may just be riding the wave of just sheer pop culture. They may know very little here. But we should at least have the conversation that all of you have been having about The Hobbit, the movie. So let's just tackle those things right off the bat.
Every conversation that I've been involved in about The Hobbit in the past couple of months has been, do you hear they're making 3 movies out of the book?
Yeah, it was 2, and then they decided to make it 3. And the book is only 1 book.
I mean, and it's more like a kid's book. It's not really like, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I mean, do you really think, I don't think this really supports 3 films. What do you think?
I don't think so either. Of course, I've pre-ordered my tickets to all 3, even though they're not available, but I do severely question.
2 is pushing it a little bit, to be
pushing it a
honest.
lot,
But
a lot.
3 is like the envelope has come out, and there's like Hobbit blood all over the floor.
There's nothing in it except Hobbit. Oh, Hobbit blood?
Hobbit blood is green. Did you know that?
I think you're getting confused with like the orc blood.
Well, now we're talking, these guys don't watch Lord of the Rings, man.
Goblins? What? It's a prequel? Who? Tom Bob, what?
Every single conversation that I've been involved with has been just like that.
No, but it seriously has been. Okay, it was only going to be, it's 1 book, it's going to be 2 movies. They changed it to 3 movies. How people, I am seriously.
There's a legitimate question there.
But it's a question that I've had in my heart of hearts because I want it to be as awesome as an experience as I had with Lord of the Rings. I cried before, when the opening credits of Return of the King came on. Like, it were tears coming out of my eyeballs.
Listen,
just because I was so happy.
Oh, I cried at all 3 of the Lord of the Rings.
The opening credits, though?
No.
I mean, I don't cry much during movies, but I cried during the opening credits.
Fans. We both read all the books. I had read The Hobbit. I actually read The Hobbit first because my brother read The Hobbit as a when he was in high school.
Oh, really?
What is this? And so I read that first, and then in college is when I read the trilogy. But so I've been anticipating this, and the way that those 3 movies were stretched out over a long period of time, and I felt like I could enjoy them. I'm excited about the fact, even though there's probably, they're going to be good. I mean, they're not going to be bad. And I got 3 years to look forward to a Christmas movie.
I was excited to hear they were doing 3. I was still very skeptical, but when I saw the trailer, the tears. No, I didn't get the tears, but I got some sensation that could have led to tears.
I got Misty Mountain-eyed.
Yeah. So, I think it's obviously it's a children's book more of a not just children's book of Lord of the Rings. But I think it's going to be funny. I think it's going to be satisfying. I just can't wait. The trailers. I don't like to watch trailers for movies that I know I'm going to see, but I had to watch the trailer to gain a certain sense of confidence that I wasn't going to be let down.
Now you did
and I got the confidence.
Now you did hear it is rated NC-17, so there's a problem.
Really?
Yeah.
The hobbits are
Apparently,
nude, but they're very hairy.
There's a lot that goes on underground in those houses.
and that's not true.
I'm excited about it, and well, first of all,
hey, did you hear that
it's going to be released in 48 frames per second, man?
It's like they wanted it to be more real, so they did it 48 frames.
That's twice as many frames, man. Do you know that there are 24 frames in a second in every normal film?
But
that's twice as many, man. That's like twice as much in your brain.
No, but it's going to look like home video. I mean, it's just going to look like home video. I don't want to pay $10 some odd to watch home video.
You may have heard this.
I have home video of the Hobbits already.
That not only did they shoot the Hobbit with 30 red cameras, and that doesn't mean that they were just like painted red. That's the type of camera.
3 of them were, though.
And
they ran out.
And they shot in a high frame rate. Most films that you watch are in 24 frames per second for reasons that we're not going to go into.
Well, so that when you move, you're kind of like
24 frames. And so Peter Jackson, along with James Cameron, they've been pushing higher frame rates. I think James Cameron is pushing 60 frames per second, right? I think that's what he's been all over the past couple of years. And now Peter Jackson is pushing 48. But the problem is that you normally watch like sports and TV in a higher frame rate. And so what they said is that when they previewed this thing at Comic-Con, everybody had a horrible reaction to it because they thought that it looked like a home video. So it's only going to be released in one theater in Los Angeles, I think, at 48 frames per second, and then 20 different theaters. But I don't know. But we're going to be back home.
But only once.
We're going to be back home in North Carolina, and I don't know if we're even going to have the option.
I don't want to watch it in 48 frames per second.
But it's like watching two movies. Like if I go watch the 48 frames and you go watch the 24 frames, I see twice as much movie as you do.
You do?
Think about it.
Well, unless you blink a whole lot.
Well, that's...
You're going to have to blink more, and it's going to
blinking taken into, but you're going to blink the same amount, so it all balances out.
It's funny that we're not even talking about 3D because of this. I'm not even going to watch it in 3D because I already got glasses. All the glasses I'm talking about, I don't want it to. I'll be pushing them up the whole time. No, I want to be.
You're not going to watch it in 3D. I don't think I'm going to either.
Sit back and enjoy it. But the thing that we've done to get ready is actually the same thing. I started reading Lord of the Rings once I knew the movies were coming out. I'll be honest, I'm late to the game, but I started with The Hobbit before I read those. And now I'm reading this Hobbit, and this is your fancy version of the book. I'm reading this with the kids because I want to take the kids to it'd be a shared family experience.
I'm reading it to my kids also. And
I'm ahead of you, by the way.
I'm catching up with you though, because your kids told me where you're at. I'm catching up.
I could go home tonight and finish.
Well, I'm gonna start reading right now. I'm gonna stop right now and start reading this and catch up with you and beat you. But you know what? If you have a question of how far are you supposed to read in order to cover the material that is covered in the first...
How far are you supposed to read? I mean, I'm not going to read.
In the first movie.
I don't read, but if I were to read, how far would I read?
Peter Jackson is...
In order to, commensurate with the end of the season 1.
You don't want to commensurate with it. He's playing this pretty close to the vest, as they say, but I think that if you get to about page 100? Anyway, if you get to the place,
a good even number.
If you get to the place where they're about to be attacked by the goblins and the wolves, and the eagles come and save them, that's how far you need to read, and you will cover the first movie's material.
So you talk about being attacked by. There's a lot of talking animals in The Hobbit, and I'm really curious how they're going to do that. I'm very concerned that all of a sudden it's going to turn into like
computers.
Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe.
They're going to use computers, Link. They're not going to get animals to actually speak.
But just the tone of the film, Are you a little concerned about that? Eagles rescuing people and talking.
I have a sneaking suspicion that the eagle will speak like this.
Is that how you voice the eagle when you're reading the words?
I have a voice for all the characters, and this is the voice of the Eagle King.
She speaks as if he's soaring. A soaring voice?
Well, birds have a natural, calm disposition and are very wise.
Do you have a voice for each of the dwarves? Because there's like 13 of them.
My voice for the dwarves is like this. They all kind of sound like this.
Really?
Snap, snack, the black, crack, grip, grab, pinch, nab. Because there's like 15 of them. Well, how many? There's 13 of them.
There's 13 of them. Mine end up sounding a lot like Gandalf.
I talk like this when I'm a dwarf.
I'm Thorin, the king, son of Thrain, son of Thorn.
Well, I was doing that,
Blarn.
but I was doing that, but you can't get through a chapter.
Yes, I only read a quarter of a chapter.
And
then my Gandalf is very close. My Gandalf is very much like this.
how does your elf?
And really, I
how
think-
does your elf king talk?
My elf king doesn't talk.
The wood
I've
elf.
gotten to that. Oh yeah,
I'm
the elf
ahead of
king.
you.
No. I have gotten that guy.
Mine talks like Gilbert Gottfried.
I've had 8 times like this. Hey, I'm the elf king.
Hey, get out of here! Hey!
I think my elf king talks like this. And Bard talks like this, kind of like John Wayne.
Bjorn?
Bard.
The
Bard, the man at the end who talks like John Wayne, but
what about Bjorn?
Not really.
What about the dude that turns into a bear?
I don't know what voice that is.
Because he talks kind of like this in my book.
That's Gandalf, though.
No, Gandalf, you shall not pass. But Bjorn is more down in here.
It sounds the same to me. What about Martin Freeman? How do you talk?
Do you actually do an impersonation? Bilbo talks like this. I'm going on an unexpected journey. I wish I could get back.
Mine's pretty much the same.
I wish I could get back to my wonderful little hobbit hole.
I could have some bacon.
I would like to
mine's
get some
more airy.
breakfast and some second breakfast.
Mine's more airy than yours. But his eyes are wide open too, though.
We should do the cartoon. You know, that's
Yeah,
what
we should do the cartoon.
We should be working on.
Me and you should do the cartoon.
You know, there was an animated version of The Hobbit
Rhett
that I watched
Link Hobbit.
as I watched as a child. That would sell.
I feel like I'm ready now. All right.
If you're not ready to watch The Hobbit after this episode of Good Mythical Morning,
Then you're a loser, man.
you're no fun.
You're a loser.
I'm gonna take my book and go home.
Remember, leave a comment. Greatest moments from season 2. Smell each other's shoes. It's a
stupid.
product placement.
Look
Whose
at this.
idea was this?
Look, the Rhett and Link mythical shoe. I was wearing it. Has a guitar pick in it. You can get it at RhettandLink.com/store.
The new leather mythical shoe. Take a deep breath. 3, 2, 1.
Yours smells new.
I was about to say yours smells new.
Overnight, we didn't sign a release. You didn't get our consent to put